What is up, guys? RGT85 here, and today on the channel we're going to be taking a look at a game that a lot of people have been asking me about, Snowboarding The Next Phase. Now, if you watch my upcoming Nintendo Switch games for the month of January video, you know that I was actually kind of looking forward to this game. It was something that I hadn't heard of. I obviously love skateboarding stuff. I used to skateboard for many years. I've been snowboarding a couple times. I actually have a funny story about snowboarding. I was going up the ski lift, and me and my dad went snowboarding. He was skiing, I was snowboarding. I was going up the ski lift, and I saw him coming down the mountain, so I looked down and said, "Hey, asshole!" And he actually tripped because he looked up and fell. He was kind of mad at me about that. But Snowboarding The Next Phase is a game that, like I said, a lot of people have been asking me about. We didn't know anything about this game. We had one little trailer, and that was it. So I was pretty curious to see how this game turned out because, like I said, I enjoy games like this. And honestly, it's kind of a mixed bag. I think some people will actually really enjoy the game. For me personally, though, there are a few things holding it back. So let's take a look at the actual game. So you see that you have career mode, which is basically the meat and potatoes of the game. You go through, you do different challenges to unlock different courses and things like that. We'll look at that a bit. You have the multiplayer mode, which is a local multiplayer mission. You have arcade mode, which we'll check out. You have customize, and you have vehicles. So customize is basically what it exactly sounds like. You can customize your character to your liking and use different clothes and stuff like that if you're into it. There's no difference in terms of performance for these clothes. It's just, you know, purely cosmetic. You want to try to unlock all of them and make your guy look spiffy. You can also do it with boards as well, unlock different boards. I kind of like that board. That board looks kind of cool. But you can see there are a bunch of different boards to unlock, just like there's a bunch of different clothes to unlock. You know, there's a bunch of different outfits. So if you're a collector and you enjoy, you know, collectathon sort of things and unlocking all of the outfits and all of the boards, you know, you'll probably sink some decent time into this. Vehicles play a role in accessing certain courses throughout the career mode. You have to have a certain type of vehicle in order to access certain missions in the game. So there are some different sorts of vehicles here. You can customize these as well. Like I said, you do need some of these to play some of the levels in career mode. You can customize them, use different colors and stuff like that. I don't know. It's kind of whatever. It does help you a bit in some of the later courses in the game, but I'll let you figure that out on your own. So, like I said, you have career mode and you have arcade mode. So let's hop into career mode and check it out. You basically have different courses that you get. So we'll look at the first area here. You basically have you have bronze, silver, and gold rankings, and the more rankings you do, the more things you unlock in the game. You have to unlock certain, you have to have a certain number of medals in order to access certain areas of the game. So in the first section of the game, I'm now in the gold section. You can also, you know, you don't have to do it. You don't have to go bronze, silver, gold on all of the same levels. You can hop around. So like here, I'm working on the silvers, as you can see, and this one I'm working on the bronzes, as you can see. So there's a bunch of different things, and like I said, you know, you have to have certain vehicles in order to unlock certain courses in the game. I wanted to do like a full-on review of this game, but unfortunately I'm working on several other reviews of some pretty big games, but I did want to sort of spotlight this since I did talk about it in my upcoming Switch games video. So let's just hop into a course here, and you could sort of see, you know, why the game is cool and then some of the things that sort of draw it back for me. So you pick your course, and you basically have your different missions here. Get 620,000 points, get 15 seconds of air, land a 1260 times 2 in a run. Graphically speaking, I don't think the game looks terrible. Like, obviously, this is a $10 game. It's a low-budget game, so don't expect, you know, some people are like, oh, is this like Cool Boarders? Is this like, you know, SSX? Kind of. Right here, you see one of the problems I have with the game. Land a 1260. I landed, you know, something that was higher, but they don't give you credit for the 1260. You actually have to land a 1260, which is, it's fine, but like, I don't know, little things like that sort of bother me. But yeah, you basically just, you know, you jump off these cliffs, you do different missions, and then that's it. That's probably my biggest problem with this game, especially in the career mode. It's just how short the levels are. Like, you start to get into it, and then the level's over. Most levels take less than like 30 seconds, and it's like, well, that kind of sucks. Like, I wanted to actually, you know, when you start getting into it, you start, you know, feeling the mountain and stuff like that. You start getting into the level, it's over. And I don't know, that kind of bothers me a bit because I like to sort of get immersed in these games. I understand it's not going to be something like Cool Boarders or SSX, but those levels were actually pretty long. You know, pretty much every arcade, it's definitely an arcade style game. And pretty much every arcade style, you know, extreme sports game or whatever you want to call it, has some levels that have some length to them. Like, I don't know. So as you do your tricks, you see you jump off crap, you can do different grabs, you can tweak your grabs, and things like that to get higher scores. But it's just like, like I said, you start getting into the level and it just goes away. There are some weird physics as well, like I'll show you guys here in just a second. Well, this is kind of cool too. So there's little spots where you do tricks, and they do sort of like a trans world style photo shoot, if you know anything about, you know, skateboarding, like a multiple angle shot. So that's kind of cool. I like that. It does save it to your Nintendo Switch though, the screenshot section. So I don't know. I need to look and see if I can turn that off because it's kind of annoying. But like I said, look, that was the whole level. Like the levels take no time whatsoever, and that really just takes me out of the game. But that's a look at career mode. That's basically what you do. You're just doing different tasks, and sometimes you have to focus on a certain task, like the geotags. You have to pick up a certain color, a certain amount of geotags. But I don't know. But arcade mode is a little bit different. You know, there's some more depth here. It's a little bit longer, so I do want to show you guys that. So land a 360, land 10 grabs, score 10,000 points. That's easy enough. I would go some more, but, you know, God forbid if I do beyond a 360. Nope, don't go. No, I did a 540. But, like, sometimes you could just sort of jump and, like, I don't know, like, you just sort of fly higher than you probably should. I don't know. Let's just get the score here. And, you know, the music's okay, like, sort of, dubstep inspired. It feels kind of like a game that was maybe made, like maybe this did come out on mobile devices and I just don't know because I don't play mobile games, but you know, it kind of has like an earlier feel to it. And it's a shame because Nintendo Switch owners, you know, we never got Steep or anything because, you know, Steep was one of the first games announced for the Switch, and then they were like, just kidding. And it's probably good that Steep, you know, didn't come out because I don't think it would have sold very well. But so in arcade mode, you basically have to do at least one of the tasks in order to keep your tickets up. So you can see we did 2 of the tasks, so we do still have tickets. All we have left is to get 10 grabs. So let's go ahead and get 10 grabs. But I think you could sort of get a gist of how this game works. Like, it's not bad. For $10, like, I've definitely played worse games. I've definitely had some fun with it, but I feel like it could have been, you know, something a bit more, you know, because there is a market for it. You know, there's a market for games like this. People like games like this, and I feel like they could have really made something special, but it's definitely more of a cash grab. That's not to say it's a terrible game. I've definitely had some fun with it. I definitely think the visual style is pretty clean. Yeah, you know, there's some pop-up and stuff like that, but, you know, for the most part, the aesthetic of the game is pretty nice. It just could have been more. There's no grinds either. You know, you can't do board slides or anything like that, which I think is a bit of a disappointment. We've already done our needed mission, so let's just go crazy. You can see that landing their tricks in a certain way does help your score as well. If you slam a trick, that means you landed it perfectly. There's good, there's sketchy, and then there's fail. So, you know, land your tricks good, kids. Don't be sketchy. So now we have unlocked another section of the arcade mode where there are some more missions to do. But I mean, you know, it's not a bad game. Can you turn on? And that's another thing. Hold on. That's another thing. They don't tell you the controls when you, like the first mission you do, they don't tell you the controls of the game. You actually have to go into the controls menu and look at it. And it's just like little things like that just kind of add up and bother me. I don't think Snowboarding The Next Phase is an inherently bad game. If you're a fan of snowboarding games, let's be honest, this is both the best and the worst snowboarding game on the Nintendo Switch because it's the only snowboarding game on the Nintendo Switch. If you're a fan of games like Cool Boarders, SSX, you'll probably have some fun with it. You know, like I've been saying, I have been having fun with it. I just think it could have been something better if there was a bigger budget behind it, if it was a bigger release, maybe a $20, $30 release, throwing some online multiplayer, throwing some, you know, longer levels and things like that so you can get really invested in it. But that's just me personally. I think some people will end up enjoying this game. Some people will end up having a lot of fun with this game. So, yep, that's Snowboarding The Next Phase. Let me know what you think of this game in the comments section down below. If you plan on picking it up or checking it out, if you're a fan of snowboarding games, and if you want to see more snowboarding games on on the channel. Like I said, I am working on a couple different reviews right now. I'm working on Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which is actually a game I've never played before. I never played it on the Wii U. And I'm also working on Travis Strikes Again, so you guys are going to want to tune into that. Those will be up in a couple of days. I think Travis Strikes Again is the 16th, and then Super Mario U Deluxe is just whenever I finish it. But make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.